Welcome, everybody, to the Onward VR Master League. I'm your host, Minorchid, and I'm joined today by my co-caster, Theta.
Good evening.
So we're going to be bringing this matchup, Dark Matter versus Rome, in the custom map tourney, Week 5. Pretty exciting stuff. We're nearing the end of the custom map tourney. Just one more week left, as far as I know. Been some good matchups. Do you have any thoughts on the tourney so far, Theta?
All I know is it's going to be hard to top that match we casted earlier today, because that was
exciting.
That was a mountain of spice.
Let's just jump right into the bans then. On that note, what do we got for ban number 1 from Dark Matter?
Dark Matter is banning sand.
Not surprising considering it just changed, huh?
Yeah.
Let's see. Although I kind of feel like it's a map that they might have liked before. I'm not really sure on that one. Let's see.
I don't know either.
Who knows?
Yeah.
And what do we got for Rome?
Rome is banning USS Quest.
These are some really weird bans.
Those are two of the most common maps in this tournament, so I would assume they're still probably going to play Arctic. That seems to be a constant with almost every single match, but other than that, I don't know what they're going to play now. Hopefully something nice, something cool.
Thanks,
something
guys. Making us change things up and all. We'll see, though. Coming up shortly, I'm going to jump to a quick intermission. When they're about to get started, just like normal, we'll jump right in the action. So see you guys shortly. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're not quite in the action yet. They're just shuffling on into the lobby right now, but I thought maybe we could jump around the map a little bit, take a look, see, as this map does not really play well with overhead views flying around because it's interior building in a spaceship, or not even a spaceship, a space station. Isn't that right, Theta?
Correct. A very specific type of space station.
Yeah. What type of space station is that?
It is, in fact, a Theta class space station. Fun fact.
Oh, interesting. That's probably what all the Onward players care about, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially now that you can read the description when custom maps load.
There's a lot of good story that doesn't get read.
Yeah.
All good. So this is a map made by me. It's a interior designed kind of like space station, kind of like spaceship but bigger. It has a lot of these corridors. It has some verticality. It has some larger and shorter range fights, kind of a mix of everything. Flanks are definitely very possible on this map. I think it's pretty cool myself.
Not that you're biased or anything. Naturally.
No.
I was just noticing too, these boxes that are scattered all over the place, they look like sushi rolls to me. I don't know what to tell you. That's just what my mind goes to when I see these boxes.
The up boxes?
So if you look in the concourse, just all the boxes that have the circle in the middle with the arrow up from a distance, I just can't help but think of sushi. I don't know what to tell you.
Maybe they eat a lot of sushi on this space station, okay?
Hard to get fresh fish in space, but let's roll with it.
All right, so we're jumping into round one here. Dark Matter versus Rome. First objective is on the bakery, as the sign says. This is kind of an open objective, but at the same time, the actual objective is really closed in. So the teams can really decide if they want to go for a little bit of a spread out strategy, if they want to try and get some verticality here, as they can get up top faster than the offense can. But it looks like they're not going to be doing that for this first round here. We got a pretty interesting defense, mostly staying on objective and looking around it for those back flanks there. Meanwhile, Dark Matter spawned in the hangar bay, and they're starting to move up slowly here. You can see Will and Zucchini working together here on the eastern side of the concourse, moving up towards the objective, and they can run right onto objective quite quickly. The only people really guarding this specific flank is Gladiator. So if they have a good push, it could be really scary for Rome here. Meanwhile, Fino is on this bottom area, just kind of doing some overwatch, watching for anybody roaming across the center of the concourse area. For example, if William decided to get moving and rotating, he could be in a good spot to do that. Will shoots Gladiator right near objective. They are now threatening the objective. William is watching from on top of the table. I never knew you could do that, but that's interesting. Ramen gets Zucchini. Ooh. Will and Varx get a trade. Will should be able to be revived, but if Ree runs really quickly, he could get over there and start reviving as well. So it really depends on which team is willing to rotate quicker.
There's a lot less distance between Rome and Varix and Dark Matter. Dark Matter and Will are pretty far separated at this point. Though Aquafighter coming around the backside might end up getting it. I don't think anybody is willing to rotate now, like you were saying.
Yeah, while it is pretty defensible, once Marsoc gets in there, they're not going to be able to really stop it. Mad Outdoors' position does pay off. He was just kind of sitting in the back, waiting for those rotations, and he was able to pick Ree when he exposed himself there. William, meanwhile, is not willing to do that. Aqua gets the revive and the refrag onto Varix. That's going to be very powerful for Dark Matter, giving them 4 players to Rome's 2. See how they attack William here, who should be the next player to spot the action.
And Ree had said right before he got shot that he was going to go for a res, so that rotation to go for the res ended up costing him somebody. Now William has no choice but to get closer to the objective. He is rushing Aquafighter.
Oh, thrown C4. Aqua's rotation away from those stairs. Critical critical. Otherwise, she would have went down. William would have got that frag. And Will, who is doing a very far rotation onto the other side of the map, would not have been able to respond in time to that C4 throw. Three minutes left on this objective. Will checking her tablet, getting aware of the position. Fino slowly pushing up with William dead, repositioned. It's going to be tough for them to defend this. It just pretty much all depends on William and if he can defend from 3 players all pushing up the center.
Yeah, that was a smart rotation on Will's part because she was somewhat separated from everybody, and now there's a 3-person offensive formation on one side.
William decides to rotate, check the corridor behind him, nearly gets his head taken off, decides to come right back up, and is able to take out Matt outdoors, or at least down him. Will's trying to defend his body the best she can. Ramen deciding to peek out, get that refrag where William couldn't. Good move there. Just a moment at the right time. Otherwise, he would have been taken out. William shoots Fino. Will gets the refrag back on William, and it's just up to Ramen to make sure that the cap does not happen.
Ramen, I don't know how aware he is, but he has people on both sides of him. And if they coordinate this well, even if one goes down, the refrag should be easy to get.
The end of game coordination, a skill that's not often practiced, but becomes very key here. You see Will coming around the corner here, and Aqua at the same time, and that's what we were kind of expecting, wasn't it?
Exactly. One question, I've never tried to test this or anything. Can they cap from behind the counter on the opposite side, or is that too far?
I think it's too far, but I think you could put your hand over it and like cap on top of the table.
Okay.
I think I'd place it like that on purpose, but it's been a bit a minute.
I think Will did the right thing, but it was occurring to me that if they decided to take a slightly less aggressive approach, if Ramen was going to just stay on that box, then could conceivably come around, maybe crawl around that corner and get a cap before Ramen could do anything about it. I don't know.
Right. Another option was to rotate, go up on the catwalk area, and then shoot down from kind of this entrance inside the bakery, which would have had a pretty good vision of Ramen as well. So once you become the last defender, even though it's pretty tight, it's quite hard to defend by yourself if the team is just willing to shoot you instead of try for a cap. Also, we don't have map images for orbital and spaceship, unfortunately, so for this one it will be tanker. Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing that this is a much better map than tanker.
I'm not saying I don't like tanker, but well, I don't like.
I'm not saying I don't like tanker. It's just an awful map. It's just
yeah, there we go.
In fact, it's science.
Right. So round 2 looks like we're going to be getting going again. See if Dark Matter can keep up the streak here and defend this objective. Jump in here. This is an interesting one. I think that there's a lot of different ways you could defend these objectives, or this objective in particular, that and the center one. So we'll see how they decide to do that. Dark Matter choosing to go up top, unlike Rome. It is a very powerful position, but is also really exposed, and we might see that here with the push primarily coming from the observatory where they can get upstairs. Same with Barracks coming from the hangar. It's a coin flip, really, which player is going to come out on top once they crest this corner. Gladiator does have a good position up there as well.
Zucchini playing the lurk and going all the way up top, pretty far from objective. Okay, he just gave a call out. He heard them moving in that area, so they know where they spawned, what kind of approach they're taking. And now it's a matter of how does Zucchini play this, because he's in kind of a spot where he can't rotate back now. He kind of has to stay up there.
Good shot from Matt Outdoors across the map. Taking out one of the Rome players here who had a shield, actually, interestingly. I don't know if I agree on the shield play. It's kind of like a large, or at least his objective, I should say. Zucchini, nice shot onto Re. Varix looking to get a refrag here, but deciding to stay pretty tight in. If he runs out there trying to be aggressive on the Zucchini, Dark Matter could get the frag onto him just as he just runs across in the open. So Zucchini's position is actually pretty secure.
Varric's kind of playing with fire, just poking himself out in the middle of that doorway.
Fino going for a defensive flank here, picking up one as he continues moving. Ramen shuts down that flank. Varix also getting Zucchini as he got a little bit peckish there, trying to rotate onto Varix, it looks like. Yep. They had great positions. Just got a little bit too excited there. A little bit too excited. The rest of the Dark Matter defense pretty close into objective. Aqua and Will all just inside the bakery itself. Matt Outdoors outside on this little defensive platform, which great position to overlook the map there, and pretty safe from any players flanking in close other than grenades or utility.
Yeah, I don't remember. Can they see if they're running through the doorway from the reactor? Can they look up and see his head over that railing, or is it too high?
It'd be pretty tough. You might be able to see where he is right now. Let's just check. Yeah, you could barely see the top of his head right now. It'd be pretty tough shot though. And if he takes any shots, he just ducks and probably lives.
Yeah, I think Matt was shushing somebody in his play space, but I was right in front of him as he did it, and it felt like he was telling me to be quiet.
Well, are you gonna take that?
No, I'm not very happy about it, Matt.
I can really hear the anger in your voice right now. All right, looking at the map here, we have Ramen in the reactor room deciding to go for that far flank that, because of the audio, you could possibly hear some footsteps as he's running in that reactor room from like Will, for example, on the other side. So he decides to go slow until he got out of range of the bakery. The other player is in the cargo bay right now on the east side of the map here, going a little bit slower, just playing it cool, you know, maybe wondering maybe if Dark Matter is doing another defensive flank. But they should be able to sync up and attack from both directions here. Ramen in support of the attack from this western side of the objective. And
Matt is prone now, so there's no way, unless he makes noise, that Ramen is going to know he's there. That's a great spot, I have to say. That's a really good defensive position for this objective. Although
Ramen heard him. C4 comes over right onto Ramen, downs Ramen, and Matt will be able to easily claim that kill for himself. Thrown C4, again, just proving how powerful it is, even on a really open objective like this one.
You can see that C4 coming, and there's just nothing you can do about it.
I think I remember trying to shoot like the detonator in the air before, but it never seemed to work out. No. It'd be really, really cool if you could. A little bit more than a minute left on the clock. Varix is the last man up, and pretty much everybody is looking this way or able to rotate quickly onto this approach, as it is the most defensive approach for Marsoc approaching this objective. Matt's position prone might be critical here. Varix looking across, doesn't quite spot him, and Matt picks up the kill onto Varix.
Well, that one spot turned out to be decisive for that defense. Such a strong line from there. As long as you don't get discovered or somebody throws utility over that ledge, you are in a commanding position.
Right. I totally agree. The kind of meta that hasn't really developed yet for custom maps is just really key, because once you know someone's almost always going to be in that spot, those frags coming from really far out can be really powerful to down that person. and then they have to choose if they're going to risk it by going there or, you know, not go there and choose a different defensive spot that might not be as tactically sound. It reminds me of Suburbia in certain positions, like on lane 4, for example, shooting through the fence and getting pre-fired that way, or just different positions like on lane 1 where you could get grenaded very often when defending some of those objectives on that side. All really common, and that's the kind of thing that we haven't really seen in the custom map tournament yet, because it just takes a long time for a meta to form.
Yeah, and there's also just doubt about which maps or any maps are going to end up in the regular rotation, so people are not willing to invest nearly as much time and energy into figuring that out than they would for regular maps where they know there's going to be matches with those maps that will either, you know, enable them to win or lose.
Right, yeah, it definitely takes a lot of effort to get a map strategy up to snuff, and it's tough to, it really is tough to dedicate that time to something that you don't know. I agree there. But it's so much fun. Alrighty, so we got the hangar objective. This one is a pretty good one for the defense. It's pretty defensive. There's several entrances that they can come in from, though. They can come in from kind of this flank position on the east side where Ramen is going to defend. They also have an elevator from that, again, that same direction that comes up. They have the main cargo door and the side cargo door as well. And then there's 2 entrances, one going to the observatory, one going to the concourse itself. So the defense really has to have a pretty good view and eyes on every direction. Meanwhile, it looks like Rome is choosing to do a bit more of a spread out strategy. They have a player in the cargo room. They have one in the decorative room, is what it's called. For whatever reason, that's what it's called.
Yeah, are you seeing this angle that William's holding right now? I have it on me right now. That is nasty. If somebody comes through there is almost no chance of a return fire that's going to hit anything.
Let's see. That is, yeah, pretty tough. You could possibly see the bottom of him. Well, yeah, okay. I have nothing. That's just a great position. That's something you see only in the competitive matches. Like in a pub, people wouldn't do that. They would run out and just shoot people out everywhere. So this is a much different style of play than you normally see here. Will, because nobody's controlling concourse, was able to get up top, get into a nice position to try and fight anybody in the cargo room, but Gladiator's little defensive position inside the middle of these containers does come ascendant here, and he's able to take out Will no problem.
And William and Matt about to have a confrontation, see how effective this spot is. I'm assuming William has C4.
He does. Yeah, he does.
Okay, so he might. I'm curious to see if he'll elect to just throw it over the wall or not. I think he heard him.
Yeah, he grabbed his weapon, but I don't think Matt's gonna see him. But will William see him?
I wonder
just waiting.
I was like, you know, he's probably waiting for a knife opportunity or something, but then he started getting closer to him and just said, forget it, I'm going to shoot him.
Yeah. Ooh, Ramen and Fino come into confrontation. Fino does not win that trade. Ramen has a really nice position, kind of similar to William's position, in where he's quite covered, but has a great concealment, great cover, and is covering the angle that which he needs to cover.
Yep, and now it's Aqua versus all 5 of Rome.
Or just Doctor period.
Mm-hmm.
She's currently worried about a flank, and rightly so, as Gladiator comes around the corner. She's able to shoot him without any issue there. Good move on her part. Once you become the last member up, those flanks become more possible, more likely to happen. Two minutes and 35 seconds left on the clock. She's got a lot of work cut out for her with 4 Rome members up. And honestly, pretty tough objective to just run in and cap on. You basically have to take everybody out into the hangar bay if they have the high ground in order to do that, because they'll be able to shoot you. Unless maybe you're prone or something on objective.
Looks to me like she's thinking about going through those big doors, which
Maybe just try and check up high and try and get the picks.
Yeah, maybe get a shoulder peek in there, catch somebody with a bait shot or something, but
Smoke comes out.
Minute and 40.
A little bit far, I think.
Yeah, she's pretty close to the objective, which is...
Nice confrontation with Ramen, catching him on that rotation. Basically, I think what she was going for, trying to bait that movement from the defenders, giving her more of a chance to take them out without exposing herself to all of the defenders all at the same time. Doesn't have much time left, though.
The rest of the defense just sits still, keeps our eyes on the objective. This should be a lock for Rome. So a minute left, she's going to have to take risks. There's no way around it. She's close, but still a minute in this size map, you need to be doing something.
I think we might see it coming through the doorway here, maybe rotating through the concourse, coming around. Several options still available to her, but not much with the time allotted to her. You can see here she's just trying and cut the pie here, try and get anybody that might possibly be around this corner here. But she has to make a really hard approach as she comes to the door and immediately has to look up and high to her right in order to come out here. And there's also positions on her left as well and right above her. So I don't expect that she'll be able to come out ahead on this one. And there we go. Rome takes the point. That was a tough one for her, wasn't it?
Yep, that's a hard position to be in. It was 1v5. To her credit, she took down 2. But there's only so much you can do when the defense decides to be obstinate and not go anywhere. She caught those 2 because they were getting a little greedy and wanted to rotate out and see if they could go hunting. But the last 3 said, nope, we're staying right here. And at that point, even if she gets 1, the refrag is bound to happen just because she'd have to expose herself to get somewhere.
Right. Yeah, that was a tough position for her to be in. But she played it well. She did the best she could, and she tried to get them to come out. She used that smoke. She cut the pie as she was going through those doorways, and yeah, it went about as well as it could on a 1v5.
Yeah.
This is not one of the objectives where you can just create mass confusion and cap on a 5-man team.
Yeah, she has nothing to be ashamed of on that round. She did the best she could, and not many players could even do that much. I mean, 1v5 in many cases, you just die. So the fact she even took 2 of them with her is a good sign.
Yeah, the difference between a 1v5 and like a 3v4 or something like that is just huge. Like once that ratio just gets out of whack, it's just so hard to cover all those flanks that you really need to be able to, or cover and refrag as a attacker. It's just it's tough.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Next round starting up. Good old round 4. Let's see, do we have a shield? No. Yep, William is rocking a shield. Got the server room spawn here. Gladiator and Varx deciding to push up, taking command though, calling them back. Matt getting in position on the side of the cargo room here. A lot of ambush spots available on in this room in particular. Very dangerous to push up in without a lot of room clearing. Rest of the team looks like they're mostly going through the east side as well as 2 going up high and taking the concourse, try to get some shots or maybe apply pressure inside the hangar bay itself. Meanwhile, for Dark Matter, pretty interesting, really spread out defense. 2 in the hangar itself, just kind of looking back at objective from the rear where they have nobody flanking behind them. And then the rest are kind of out and about. I guess 1 is in the corridor. Whoops. Let's see. Popped out there and got a kill. Good work on him. If I just shut my blabbering mouth a little bit, we would have seen that. Oh well.
There's one just outside the OBJ room.
Will spotting Gladiator, maybe William.
Straight ahead of me. Yeah.
They're just trying to bait them in, get them to come into the room, and then take them out when they come into view.
I'm curious to see when Matt gets somebody across his vision, because Gladiator is right next to him, but neither of them are aware of each other's presence.
Yeah, they're all so close, but so far away at the same time.
Aren't we all?
Well, I don't know if anyone's close to me, man. It's pretty sad.
Oh god, here we go. Anyway.
Is this my soapbox?
No, it's definitely not.
Okay.
William and Ramen making their way with a shield. Let's see, Aqua, Zucchini's above them. Yeah, it's still quite a bit of distance between all these players.
Definitely playing a lot more reserved than our last match here. Both of these teams trying to just use their defensive advantages and get the upper hand that way.
I have no idea
Will
what I'm
shooting a lot of
at.
rounds. She doesn't know what she's shooting at. Nothing is the answer.
I know that feeling well.
Yeah, me too. Zucchini, though, looks like he's starting to possibly be worried about people coming from the elevator here, kind of checking around. Varric's able to pick up Fino in the observatory, which is going to open this side avenue for his approach, which I think honestly is going to be pivotal on this attack. They do have only 3 minutes left in order to push this objective.
Zucchini has audio cues from everything that happens below him. He just called out the 2 underneath him. Apparently they're
chooses. Yeah, they pressed the button and then just ran away. What is that thing called when you press the like people's doorbells and then run away?
Oh, it's not a door dash. It's
that's what I'm thinking of. Flash comes out from William. Looks like he might try to approach Aqua's position, but I don't even know if she got flash there. She has pretty heavy cover. Greg comes out as well, not picking up anybody. William is going to have to make the decision on this approach here. Maybe wait for Varrix to get into a nice clinch position, who decided to go up top in order to try and fight off Zucchini possibly. Oh, and he peeks around and getting Zucchini, which was key to their defense here. Now the upstairs is completely open. Matt's going to have to do a mad dash back, try to get back onto position. Gladiator looks like he's going to go up high as well. Will and Aqua very, very much concerned with the upstairs, but William is down below. Ramen shoots Will Selma P as well, right behind the shield. Matt Outdoors coming around for a flank, though. Aqua able to take out William. The shield is now down.
Ooh, nice flash right onto Varrix.
Gladiator's running onto objective. He's now hiding. He's using the audio cover from his team. Varrix takes out Aqua. The smoke goes out on objective. He is on the point. He is capping. Matt is running into the objective. He's got his gun out, but he couldn't get him, and the cap comes out.
Crazy cap. What blew my mind, so he put that smoke up there, and my first thought was, well, he just gave his position away because I don't think anybody saw him get there, but it worked out because they were just shooting blindly into the smoke. I don't know if they thought they got him or what, but he just sat there and finished it off. And wow, what a cap. So
Just
Rome,
like that, Rome is up 2 points.
yeah,
And now
turning the tables
3-2.
immediately.
Wow. That was crazy. So I think that was great because the smoke gave him that cover from everyone looking down, looking in on the objective once his team got taken out, you know, creating that audio cover. But by being crouched or maybe even prone at that point, I don't know, because it was in the smoke, he could dodge that the fire, because when you go into that smoke, you just want to aim at mid-level, right? Because you don't know where they are. You just want to maximize your chances of hitting people, and if you shoot too low, you're just going to be shooting at your feet and not covering as much of the objective as you could. So by being crouched, he was able to survive that. I don't even think he was behind cover there.
No.
I think he was just hiding in the smoke and just relying on it to defend him.
No, he was sitting right next to those barrel-looking things between the spaceship and the giant hole, but he was not behind anything. And there was a clear line onto him if that smoke had not been there. So, yeah, just overall, what a play.
Those little micro choices can make the world a difference, right? Because without that smoke, you know, maybe Matt wouldn't have checked objective, but let's be real, he probably would have. And then Gladiator would have just been shot in the butt. And that's not as sexy as a cap, is it?
Nope.
Well, it depends on whose butt is being shot. But I digress. That was a beautiful cap, and it was cool to see.
Yes, it was. I'm glad we casted that.
What?
We got a pretty close spawn here. They are in the living quarters here. Onto the reactor objective. Zucchini already on point. Shoots William as he tries to rotate out, maybe get a C4 in play. Zucchini again shooting at Ramen as he crosses, not able to quite get him. Ramen able to get that refrag. William shoots Gladiator as he tries to get really aggressive onto that attack force. Will covering Zucchini as he pushed. And now it's just up to her on this flank. Meanwhile, the rest of the team looks like they're going to rotate long, go around the east side, or maybe take the tram down to the south right below the objective. A lot of really good defensive spot here. You can kind of see Will backed into this corner where no person can flank on her rear, just waiting for the rest of her team to get in position and able to defend herself from being seen by enemy players going for that flank. Which, speaking of, Ree is on the approach. He's going slow. He did check his tablet, which does make noise, which it looks like Will was aware of. He has to go fast, and the trade happens. Will and Ree both are dead for good on this round.
Now, all up to the last two defenders, Varix and Ramen. Let's see. So Varix has pretty good coverage. Cover that entrance there. Yeah, I don't think they would have a way of sneaking up on him from the bottom story. They could come up over him if Ramen goes down, but other than that, they're going to have to put themselves somewhere where he could see them in order to cap. Although the one concern I would have is shooting through the stairs. I don't know how penetrable those are.
They should be penetrable. You just left Matt behind, and then Matt called them back up, and they're just like, "What the hell, bro?" Those funny little moments, right? Looks like we got a little bit before the next spat of action happens, as they have a long way to go on their far eastern flank here. The defending team is just left wondering, tense, which actually can work to your advantage if they really get...
Oh.
Oh, that sucks. I feel for you. Those times when you get really tense and you shoot your team, and then you unfortunately confirm them as well.
Yeah, that's too bad. He had an opportunity to get her back up and said,
Maybe he just wanted her stuff.
Maybe.
He didn't say anything. He just ran up and grabbed her smoke grenades.
I don't want to use my syringe on you. I'll just take your syringe. Why not?
Well, that helps Rome out. Now it's a 2v2. And if they win this round, they will be moving to the next map with 1 point for their series.
I'm not sure why that smoke got thrown. That was
Maybe they're not quite aware what objective it was. Maybe there's some confusion there.
I think that's what's going on because they are so far from objective, and throwing a smoke there does not make sense to me at all.
Well, maybe he didn't want to run around with one of his hands taken up by a smoke because he has, I assume, 2 utilities.
Just wanted to be more aerodynamic. He couldn't have that smoke grenade dragging him down.
You didn't die for nothing, Aqua. I used your smoke. Let's check out the defensive layout in the reactor room. Ramen in a nice position. He's just sitting behind this glass. I'm just looking out. It's quite dark. It'll be really quite hard to see a Volk player through that compared to a Marsoc player with their black uniform. And Varix making sure nobody comes down from below from these 2 little back entrances, because there's these 2 entrances here on either side of these reactor engine thingies, and then 2 up top as well, all kind of mirrored. So having 1 player defend the bottom, 1 defend the top can be a great strategy when you have 2 defenders left on this objective.
Yeah, I have to believe that Matt thinks that the objective is maybe the server room or something like that, because he was holding an angle through that doorway leading into the server room for a long time, and this is just nowhere near objective.
It happens to all of us, especially in these custom map tournaments where you don't necessarily know the map on the back of your hand, like a map like, you know, Cargo, Suburbia. Yeah. C4 gets detonated. Fino is back at the first room where the first faithful encounter happened. Ramen firing off a little bit too early there. Fino should be aware of his position. He has the time to grab some utility from the body of Zucchini. Frag gets thrown out. Really, very well set up there, but unfortunately thrown in the wrong spot. Matt is in a position to support. If he comes around the corner here, it could be really powerful. Fino not quite sure where Ramen is, and Ramen using that position, able to kill him. Matt's going to come up from behind. There's less than 20 seconds on the clock. There we go. Ramen is down. Now it's just down to a 1v1. Matt comes down the stairs, but Varix comes out on top, giving Rome the first map win.
Dang, that was close. Matt could have potentially picked that up and tied it up, but just luck was not in his favor that time.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Unfortunately, that team kill was really not a good time for a team kill, and they had to attack that objective with 2 instead of 3, and then not knowing where the objective was. That, you know, it happens. It's custom map tourney and all that, but exactly. Really good set of rounds before that for sure.
Where do you think we're going next? I guessed on the last one.
Crap. Putting me. Man, USS Quest is gone. Arctic.
How honestly, dare you steal my pick?
I think that's a good map pick, but maybe, I don't know. That was my pick. What's yours?
Well, I was gonna say Arctic, but
well, now you're not.
Well, now I'm definitely not. Frostbite would be the other one, I would guess.
That was the other one I was thinking about changing to, but we'll just have to wait and see.
It seems to be some deliberation there. So this was Dark Matter's pick.
Right.
So let's see. Rome. I don't feel like Rome has a distinct either preference for passive or aggressive play. They seem to be pretty fluid. I've seen rounds where they kind of lock down. I've seen rounds where they go full bore. So I don't know. I don't feel like I have a strong sense of the kind of map that they're going to pick.
Kind of feel like they're going to go for a closer map that might favor more capping just because Gladiator is present. We're going to jump to a quick intermission until the next map is chosen, so do stick around. We'll be right back with you.
Five.
No. Now we are. Welcome back, everybody. We just got started. We had to wait for that ad to finish. Sorry about that one. Varix able to take out Fino there. Got pretty aggressive on that push for the defense. It is Arctic, by the way, for anyone wondering. Mapped by Heclac. This is really spread out for the defense. Look at that. They're all over the place.
Well, they're pretty concentrated on the objective, and Zucchini is almost always their flanker. So not that surprising of a defensive formation. Question is that
runs out that door, though.
yeah, he's going to get lit up if he runs out there.
Got a nice tight angle, though, across the middle. Gladiator has already made it across, though. Proning across, painstakingly moving towards the objective. Might come into contact with Aqua at any point here, though. He does have to go around this corner, and then depending on where Aqua positions herself, they could see each other.
Gladiator with an M203 as well. Interesting. I would assume that's a smoke grenade.
Definitely could be. Honestly, with the way that they like to focus on those caps, it could be very good. Will and Reek fighting it out. Zucchini shooting Ramen here and pulling back. Will is getting aggressive there. Zucchini pulls out Varix, and William shoots Will as she gets really aggressive crossing the street there as he just waited for her to come across. Zucchini continuing his rampage down the center of the map. Grenade gets shot. It is indeed a smoke. He is now smoke screening the entire objective. He's just running towards it. He's gone into the building here. He's coming around the outside here. He's just going around the outside. Matt catches him on that rotation, and Gladiator is taken out.
William is on the exact opposite side of the map.
Looks like he decided to go for a rotation there after shooting Will. His position well known to the enemy. Just gonna jump on him and follow him along and just see how he chooses to attack. I think this angle that he's approaching from is the correct angle for the one-man attack. He has the most options this way, and he can get quite close to objective before any common defense spots will be able to see him. Zucchini, though, nice snapshot, able to take out William and give Dark Matter round number 1.
That defensive setup worked pretty well. They had 3 around the objective and then 2 more flanky players. Zucchini on the far side. Zucchini ends up on top of the scoreboard for Dark Matter already at 3-0. This is the kind of map where flanks are just a lot less risky, because even if you're far from the objective, it's just not that far to get back. So makes sense to have more of a flanky style defense, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely more options in that respect there, that they can do that. And I mean, even then, it didn't start really out as a flank. They just got into a good defensive position, considering that Rome went really quite slow, able to get really strong angles looking out of the side of the door. And then once they got a pick or two, then getting on the aggressive and pushing their advantage. Risky, but can really pay off.
Yeah.
This doorway, pretty strong. These little interiors are quite small, but they have a lot of power in them, and they allow these really kind of deep flanks that you couldn't get with just going around the outside. This building right here is, that I'm looking at in the north middle, is just particularly powerful, with several different entrances coming out, like kind of on the back side of these far north objectives. A lot of options.
Yeah, if you control that building, you have control of a significant piece of real estate on this map.
Definitely true. Round 2 just about to get started here. It looks like some of these players trying to get a position where they just shoot over the top of the box. I think this is a position that Dark Matter used as well. Definitely less positions that you could normally use. Looks like a C4 got thrown over the building, but unfortunately didn't make it quite over. Oh! Nope, that was
Wow.
Varix all at the same time as the C4 went off. Got me all excited for nothing.
What a great shot by Varix. He was just creeping through that crack that he's about to double peek. Now
That
he's in a bit of
prone
a
play.
gun. Yeah, he's in a gun battle with Zucchini.
I got into a pretty spicy combat in this area where Varix is too. He throws a grenade on himself. I think it was a flash, but still. Scary, man. It's scary when you hit yourself in your own utility and you're like, oh crap, now I have to run out in the open, otherwise get taken out by my own utility.
Yep.
Zucchini and Varix still continuing to trade bullets. Zucchini opting to instead go for that rotation there, maybe go through that center building where Ramen is. A lot of pre-fire coming from him. He comes around the corner. Ramen is just sitting here waiting for this kind of rotation. Zucchini not quite able to commit there, and Ramen surprises him coming around the corner there, which turns out to be the right move as he was able to come out up on top there. Aqua have so many positions to watch, wasn't able to catch Ramen on that rotation. Fino continuing his push forward there. Looks like Rhea was taken out in the meantime. Gladiator gets the res. Matt unfortunately has to watch the outside, and Fino's shield wasn't able to cover him. And now that he's getting mobbed, the mob is coming for him. Oh, Fino completely mobbed there. Not much you could do. Rom able to take a point. It is now tied up 1-1. It's anyone's games here.
Yeah, I could hear Ree was calling out Shield was the last one, and the moment he said that, the whole defense just swarmed on him from the north. Actually, from the east, I should say. But yeah, that was not going to end well. He was not getting away from that.
Yeah, he didn't want to keep his shield and pistol combo because he knew he wasn't going to be able to fight 3 people with it. He was trying to switch to the weapon he picked up, but wasn't able to do it quick enough with like 3 people bearing down on top of him.
No, on this map, there's just no room to escape from something like that. You are going to die. Hopefully you can take one with you, but you're not getting out of that a lot.
He wanted their milkshakes.
That milkshake was getting a sip, let me put it that way.
You're terrible. Looking for co-casters. Anyone without cheesy jokes, please apply.
Let's just forget about that last piece of dialogue. Moving forward, this objective's interesting. It's between 2 cars. So, how do you think about this objective between 2 SUVs, I should say?
I need a bigger SUV.
Yeah, I feel like this isn't even, maybe not even full-blown SUV, more like
I need a Hummer. I need 2 Hummers. Not enough. One isn't enough.
Why not just go to tanks? Might as well.
You know, I would if I could. It's the American way. This objective is pretty hardcore. I think it's the most spicy objective of this whole map. Grenades, very powerful. A really strong, aggressive push at the start, very powerful. William or Reed did have a great opportunity to get that pre-fire, but neither saw the defenders pushing up, unfortunately. William shoots Matt as he tries to go to the Pagola. Isn't that what they call it? Cupola. Whatever you want to call it. Words, they're just words. Who needs them anyway? Zucchini and Ree able to trade their Varix. Shot by Will, who just pops around the corner, gets that frag, and then pulls back into cover. Aqua playing more of a defensive position. Fino in the center of the map there. Probably going to come into contact with Gladiator anytime now. Will just really carrying right now, shooting 2 people now. And then Aqua picks up the last kill on the Glad. I hear some excitement. Oops. Let me fix that.
You heard excitement, you need to fix that?
I need a... And then I give him a point back.
Oh.
Like, I gave them 2 points. What a bad boy. All fixed. All fixed. So there you have it. The round was over in like 45 seconds.
Yeah, as is tradition on Arctic, it's not normal that the rounds take very long on this one.
Right. Yeah, there is some flank opportunities for this objective, but they're quite long, and that you did see that Rome was trying to get kind of that flank right onto objective, but that's kind of predictable, and that's where these really kind of tight objectives where it kind of favors one route or avenue of approach, it becomes predictable, and teams will be able to counter that style of play if it's the only kind of play that you do on it. And with a custom map, it's what everyone seems to be doing.
Yeah.
Go for the strong side. But good defense all around from Dark Matter on that one. We'll see how Rome shapes up for this defense. I think one of the key moments is there was that point where nobody was really just watching down the line from their spawn and just looking at the objective side as people are trying to rotate from the defensive spawn over to the other side. For example, Will, who took out like 2 or 3 people that last round. I think that position is very, very much key for this objective.
For sure. Yeah, just keeping the whole center controlled. It's like chess, you want to control the center of the board on this map in general, but you really cannot give up center control on this objective. Oop.
Looks like Glad trying to stop that approach from happening, just pre-firing down there. We have a shield from Fino, using that to get intel on the enemy team. A lot you can discern from the center of the map on this one. Kind of like you said, there's just so much space, so many important positions that are all visible from the center that a shield will be able to exploit by using getting that information and cutting down on the information asymmetry. Nice grenade from Fino.
Wow.
That's what you expect from Fino, but unfortunately, or if coming around the side, shooting Fino in the back, not able to get that confirm out from Fino. William unwilling to cross the street and expose himself as he's the last one on objective to get that res onto Gladiator. Zucchini trying to catch any of those rotations from happening. The revive comes up on Fino, and this is looking pretty rough. I think that res needs to happen.
She picked up the shield. I don't think she realized Fino was down, and then she picked him up and asked him if he wanted his shield back. That was a good moment. I'm glad I caught that. Okay, Gladiator's still alive right next to William. Looks like William doesn't want to take the risk of running across that center line to get the revive, which I don't blame him for doing, although at this point, Gladiator should have... here we go. Yeah, we'll get the revive now. Or not.
Goodbye, Gladiator.
Yeah.
I don't need you. Varix, meanwhile, if you check him out in the northeast of the map, he is coming around the side. He heard Aqua talking. There we go. The shot comes out. Now he is in position. He's coming around trying to continue his streak, but Fino with a shield is going to be tough for him to continue. Meanwhile, Zucchini is pushing up on objective. He's going on this little mound, which gives him that overwatched position. Kind of wondering why that res didn't happen. Maybe there's a bug? Varix is down. William getting very, very aggressive onto the shield. Maybe their kill count is off. Throne C4 is deployed, but isn't too far from the shield, unfortunately, to cake him out.
I wonder, maybe William already used his syringe or something like that. Maybe they both used their syringe. I don't know. Or it could have been a bug.
Yeah, because it kind of looked like nobody was trying for the res ever, and they ran over his body like 4 times. And there is a syringe on Gladiator's body, so I kind of feel like it was just one of those bugs where it looks like they're revivable, but they're not.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Tough place for William to be in. He knows that there's a shield. He didn't hear anybody get downed. So he probably knows that the shield at least is alive. Smoke comes out right on top of William. Oh, a little short, but almost on top of his head. William opting to get very aggressive, maybe thinking the shield is the last member up. Fino is going to be able to call out to his team exactly where William is, which should give him the opportunity to aggressively flank here and possibly even get a cap. William just running up on the objective. Nice, masterful play, going back and forth, able to take out the shield and give himself a fighting chance against Zucchini.
Yeah, I think what happened was Ree called out 3 down, but he had only downed Phenaram. He had 2, so the kill count was off.
Oh, they're coming around the corner here. William just puts his shield up and shoots under, giving Rome the win on that round.
What a play. And Zucchini knew he was there. I'm assuming he heard him or something like that. And William just pops that shield over and drops him with the G36 shot. That was some very nice shield play on the part of William Dunce.
Oops. Accidentally played the wrong one. Let's do that again, full screen. Unfortunately, I couldn't catch that last push onto William because the other one was really awesome too, and I wanted to show that one at the end of the round. So, darn it, guys. Stop creating so many memorable moments.
I blame the main caster, personally.
No. It'd be cool if you could take recordings and then send it to me in real time. That'd be cool. And then that way we would have had 2 available to us. But that was a really cool moment. I did enjoy that one. Really spicy round all around. I mean, William was running all the way to the opposite side of objective and the north side of the map and getting really aggressive on that shield. I think you were right in that he thought that the shield was the last one up, which is why he exposed the objective for so long.
Yep. Yeah, because I was watching Ree in the beginning of the match, and he got 3, but he only downed the last one, and he was calling out 3 down, 3 down, 3 down, and then he got killed. So as far as anybody knew, he had 3 kills, and then I'm pretty sure the number 4 kill, that was already considered the last one in their minds.
Right, yeah. Those moments, you go back to the tent and you're like, oh man, there was 2 up.
Yep.
I completely left objective. But then you're like, I knew that. It's all good. I knew what I was doing.
I'm just going to pick up the shield and clutch. No big deal.
That's the thing, though, about players that know how to use a shield. Because usually you kill the shield. You take the shield thinking, hey, I got this asset, this big asset. And then they try and use it, but they're not a shield player and they suck with it and they just die trying to use it where they would have got the kill if they just stayed as a rifleman or left it on their back at the very least to give them some turtle protection. But William is a shield player. He knows how to use it, and you saw that there. Really reminiscent of some earlier plays back in 1.7 where shooting under the shield as they approach was a pretty common strategy used by expert shield players. But with the shield nerfs of 1.8, that kind of fell out of favor, and also the kind of like speed debuff, I guess, of just moving the shield around, not to mention the actual movement debuff.
Yep.
Looks like we have one player drop out here. Okay, we got a switch here. Ramen has come in. Was he playing last round?
Yep.
Okay, just a drop. I thought so, but I wasn't sure. But now he's gone again. Let's jump to a quick intermission, and we will jump in when the action started. Stay tuned, folks. All right, welcome back, everybody. Round 5 is about to start up right here. All players are not in and they're not resetting like 2 seconds before.
Oh, Ree got
Darn
a knife
it.
in common for the reset. Nice.
I waited. It wasn't enough. Looks like Ramen just having internet issues. So, where would you rank the CQB style maps? Because I feel like there's a lot of those maps in the pool or have been in the pool. We had maps like Arctic that we're on right now. We had, like Shipyard. I think was Dumpster Fire in the rotation.
I think it was last week, but it's not this week.
I wonder if anyone played on it.
I don't know. I have to look it up.
And I can't even be the one listing them off because apparently my idea of small is like medium, and I always think it's like the other way around. I guess like pandas I consider small medium, but everyone else considers it like medium. So I can't even be the one saying it. But like how would you excluding mine because we're all biased here, how would you rank the other maps, the CQB maps, so far as like league play goes?
So USS Quest is probably the other one that would be closest to having any kind of viability. And I think you've accurately described it as cargo on a boat, which
Cargo on a boat.
that's pretty much it. I don't know. So what I like about Arctic is that it is CQB, but there's a lot of, I don't know, for lack of a better term, complexity attached to that CQB. Whereas if you have a cargo, for example, then it is just narrow lanes where you're going to end up shooting at each other over very short distances. Whereas this one, you've got straightaways, you've got close-in areas, you've got many different options, and flanks are in fact possible. Whereas with the ultra-linear maps in the kind of cargo vein, there's just no room to maneuver or anything. It's just, all right, you're gonna start in a neutral angle. The best you're ever going to be able to do is a slightly stronger angle. You're almost never going to get around on anybody. And so it comes down to speed, reflexes, so on and so forth. And I'm not saying I don't even enjoy that. I think I'm a more aggressive player, but in terms of competitive viability and what we should be playing and developing as a league, I don't think we should be going too far down that rabbit hole, personally.
Right, and it's one thing where some maps might not be completely competitively viable, but they're a lot of fun to play, and you can still play them in comps or pubs, but they might not necessarily be the right maps for a league pick, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's tough, adding customs to the pool because it's a big decision because if it's a custom in a certain vein, like it's another small map that could completely alter the balance that we have between short and long range maps that DPI roughly has been keeping more or less, and if you have another like cargo that you don't want to play cargo, but now you have two cargos more or less, that's tough, and that's hard for the balance of the game. Those picks before the gameplay even happens can be just as critical, if not more critical, than the actual gameplay. In some cases, I mean, if you choose to play on their best map, it could be, you could have just ended yourself. Versus if you choose a more neutral map where they might not be as good, or where you're better or worse, that kind of stuff. There's so much gameplay, quote unquote, before the actual game starts.
Yep, and it all just gets balanced. Oh, looks like we're going back into it, but I'll just say as a final parting thought that it has to get balanced on, we are getting a new influx of players, and let's be real, the newer players do not like big complex maps that require a lot of strategizing because they find it intimidating. They know there's an experience advantage for people who play them a lot. So I think there's a place for it. if only just to kind of make it a little more welcoming for newer players.
Definitely a lot of considerations for the mods that I'm glad I don't have to be the one making. Gladiator
no
takes
kidding.
out William, or Fino, and William and Matt trade, but William is revivable. Ramen going for that revive. Zucchini, though, looks like he's going to go and try and stop the revive, and he gets a 2 for it. Gladiator coming out as well in the center, not able to win against Will there, who does come out ahead on that trade. Now it's just Varix and Ree against William, Aqua, and Zucchini, who have a pretty good hold over the objective here. Zucchini basically has that north more or less under control, or at least should know when they go up there. Aqua able to kind of rotate between looking south and north, and Will just in the center, making sure nobody gets that quick cap.
Ree is creeping down the south. I don't know. This is one of those maps where slow peeking anything feels like a death sentence to me.
Kind of see kind of that adaptation with Varix. He's only basically watching the rear of Ree, making sure no players come around the backside and shoot Ree in the butt, which is something that we've seen several times so far on Arctic. Let's see, Zucchini, look at this angle that he has. Ree is going to have a hard time crossing, worrying about the in front of him, but also Zucchini on this really tight angle where the only point where he's going to be able to see Zucchini is when Zucchini has his gun right on top of him. But there he goes. He gets the pickup onto Ree. Now it's just Varix who is going to have to make some moves of his own against 3 Dark Matter players who are all pretty, fairly tight on objective there. Zucchini maybe getting a little aggressive. But this is a tough position to come back from on this round.
And Zucchini's going hunting. Varix creeping his way up to the cupola, however you pronounce it, in the middle. I'll just call it the turret. That's easier. So he's on the turret. Zucchini right around the corner. I can't tell. I would assume they have audio cues. I think Zucchini does. Yeah, now he knows.
Zucchini definitely knows he's right around the corner here, but he peeks the corner slow enough that Varix is able to just shoot his kneecaps off.
That was a surprising play to me. Zucchini is normally one to pop a corner pretty hard, but that time I think he tried to be a little stealthy about it and paid the price for that.
Right, yeah, like your extremities are going to be shown before your gun is going to be on target and around the corner.
Yeah.
I think he was just kind of maybe like, hey, he's shooting at somebody right now and he's, distracted, so I'm going to be stealthy. But, it's just how the dice roll sometimes.
It's how the cookie crumbles.
I want a cookie.
Don't we all?
Will, I don't know why I want to say William. But Will and Aqua both having to cover multiple angles now with Zucchini down. Aqua going to have to look north, look south, which is often how people get shot in the back because you're having to watch 2 opposite directions. Pretty interesting C4 that she's got, I think, right here, though, on the corner, really high up. That's a hard position to check for. And she can actually see people creeping up because there's a gap between the box and the wall. So you can't even stealthily come around and check for the C4. It's just kind of, you have to be hoping she's not looking at the time.
Ooh, yeah, that's a nasty spot. I've been C4'd by that before, and it is not fun.
Kind of feel like these C4 players that main C4 just have like their own little Discord and like, oh, look, there's this nice C4 spot. They can't counter it.
Yeah, it's like the Skull and Bone Society or something. It's just... They're out there making sacrifices, wearing masks. Some real eyes wide shut kind of stuff going on with that C4 crowd. I don't trust them.
Yep. I totally have to agree with you. If I don't like it, that's that. But Varix here, slowly approaching the objective. He now has several options. I think this northwest approach is often fairly common for one of the last attackers, as it is fairly strong and allows you to catch players as they do their rotations. So I think that's what he's going for here. But with only a minute left, he's going to have to speed up this attack if he's going to be able to use this approach to any effect. Really, really, really keen on this defensive strategy.
Now, 40 seconds, Varix is going to have to move it. I mean, he's close, but that time ticks by quickly when it's just you and you need to make a move.
Yeah, he's probably completely given up on the cap. He's just going for kills. He's going to use the maximum amount of time. And here you see he's like, oh man, 30 seconds. Time to go, time to go. Catches Will as she pops around the corner there. Now it's just, oh, it was just Aqua, but he was able to take it.
Crazy. 2v1. Varix comes out on top.
30 seconds, like less than 30 seconds on the clock there. Able to take out Will, who looked like she had some trouble with her gun there, but good shots on both of those. Just calm and collected. He used the maximum time available to him and was able to clutch it for his team.
Yep, well played. And now Rome goes into a defensive round with that advantage of being on Volk and the lead. So it's really up to them at this point to just clamp down on defense and shut this down, because if they get one more point, this is match.
That's so true. That and you just have to fight all that stress of everything being on the line and just overcome.
It's stress on both sides, because the offense is thinking, well, if we drop this, then we lose the whole thing. And everybody on defense is thinking, we just need to clutch this so we don't have to be so stressed out about this anymore. Because, yeah, you should be trying as hard as you can on the last map, but you also, once you hit that 2-map mark, you can kind of take a deep breath and say, okay, we won the match. It's going to be less stressful. We're still going to win. We're still going to put pressure on ourselves. But no matter what happens, we still have the W, which is what matters.
Right. The thing is, though, like, the offense has to, they can't just go through the motions. Like, the defense can pick an angle and watch the angle.
Yep.
And there's less thought process, critical thinking on the line that an attacker has to make. Let's jump in here.
Yeah. Ree is telling everybody, one more round, one more round. That's the right attitude. Just stay focused, stay on the OBJ, lock it down, and you have this match.
Ooh, Gladiator.
Pushing in now.
Gladiator throws the C4, but they get across. Now let's see how he. Ooh, Ree gets a nice shot around the corner there, able to take him out. Will opting to cross back and try and fight Gladiator, who is kind of in that little alleyway. Varix in support. He looks like he's got a flashlight as well, so definitely some interesting utility plays. Matt's kind of have that corner position in the far side of the map, just waiting for a rotation from the defenders, who don't look like they're going to be taking the bait this time. Interesting. They kind of know, I think, where Will and Fino are, but they're not watching anymore. They decided to pull back. Ree getting quite aggressive, though. He's running through the door here. He's trying to come up and behind Fino, able to take out Will. Now Fino doesn't seem to be aware, pulls around, able to get that refrag onto Ree. Could have been either one there. Ree was looking the other way at that point. Fino able to get that refrag, but what a crazy man move right there. Just rushing out there.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out to some degree, but I'm a little surprised that he was willing to do that when match point is in the balance. I know it's more fun to rush out and be aggressive, but if you're serious about winning, you should be willing to hang out on an angle. William wins that.
Yeah, they just came around the corner there. William coming ascendant, but maybe not from his own utility. Which just happened to go up and hit the lip of the building. Oh. Well, his gunplay was on point. That's what matters, right? That's the one that kills people. That's what I tell myself every day when I try and throw a frag and lands at my feet, and you know,
Yeah. No one cares how bad I am at throwing frags.
I
It's
just give them
fine.
to James so I don't have to be ridiculed anymore.
Oh, that will never stop. But
Ah.
the
That's why we brought Sky Joker on.
Yes, he's gonna pass the torch. You're gonna pass the torch.
I thought, why
Anyway.
aren't you the one who's made fun of? I was here first, bro. Fino and
Anyway.
Varix, just narrowly miss each other. Varix does pop off a few rounds though, so Fino will be aware of that defensive position. And the Fino grenade comes out right on the corner there. Unfortunately, Varix was inside and behind cover, so that grenade will not have taken him out. And Fino not necessarily going to know if he got anybody with a grenade, considering that it could instant kill him with a grenade where no noise is made. This little position that Varix has is pretty brutal. Ooh, Gladiator picks up Fino as he tries to rotate around a different corner. Pulls around cover there, not giving Aqua any options. And Varix coming out on the aggressive aggression, able to get the point for Rome, giving them the map and series win.
Yeah, well played. That was patient defense, and as a result, they had Ree pushing out early, but other than that, they stuck to their guns and finished out that round to get the win.
Definitely some interesting plays, and it worked out for him. Sometimes that unexpected aggression can work out for you. It's just really quite risky. I mean, you saw that too. He came around the corner, he killed one, and he had the opportunity to get the second one. He just happened to be looking the other way, unfortunately, maybe getting a confirm onto the body he just shot. But he got taken out too. But he did cause them enough confusion that it slowed them down and made them think twice about their approach too. So there's so many different thoughts and strategies you can take. There's so many counter plays and different little micro adjustments you can make all the difference.
Yep. Doubt. There is no single best way to play this game, and there's always an adjustment you can make to put one over on your enemy.
And this, yep, it just whatever works, right?
All right, so we've done Arctic, we've done Orbital. Quest and Sand are both banned.
And it should be Dark Matter's pick.
Alright, so let's see. So we've got Sand, Arctic, Quest, Orbital. We've got Shipyard, Terminal, Frostbite, Panda Towers, and Expedition Depths as potential map picks.
I'm gonna vote Terminal. Also, they've all left the lobby, so we're gonna jump out to a quick intermission and be right back with you guys. Stick around. welcome back, everybody. Map 3 will be Shipyard. This is quite a linear map. There's a few lanes that they can take, but they're all fairly dangerous, especially on this objective, which happens to be the spiciest objective. Gladiator running up, trying to get on point, out in the open, trying to get up high, wasn't able to quite do that. Matt and Will are able to push up here with the Aqua on support. They're reviving death kind of play. It sucks. Grenade comes out right behind Ramen. Oh, but Will got it first. Barracks guts the position up on the boat, but wasn't able to keep it. I think it was Matt was able to pick him off though as he was getting into position. Sorry, keeping quiet there. Trying to hear Will. It's just they're trying to figure out where he is.
I know I'm talking. Can you not hear me?
I can hear you now.
Oh man, it's pretty funny. Looks like Will is going to rotate. Should be able to get the revive here without any ado. William is having to defend this position, this objective all by himself. Matt is pushing up, staying stealthy, getting in position. And honestly, this one, once you lose control and let them control the map, it's so hard for the defenders to come back. I mean, they can come from up top, they can go from below. There's all those different routes that they can do, and they can do it all together and at once and really peak together. So there might even see a cap. Fino and William quite close. William has some tunnel vision here as he hears Fino running around, comes around, gets the frag, but gets traded with. Nice transition from Fino though. I mean, low key, he would just threw a grenade. You know what I mean?
Quick. Yeah. I think William made the right choice. He saw the grenade and he's like, oh, this guy's going to be vulnerable. I'll get a free kill out of this. And then Fino, just with the snap hands there, pops out of grenade throwing mode and at least turns it into a trade.
Right. Yeah, that's one of the things that as the last man up, you have to take a couple of those like little risks where you might leave the objective for a short period of time. And you need to do that in order to give yourself a chance to win in a 1v3 style situation where, you know, aggressively reducing their team size is the only option you have to winning the round at the cost of possibly getting capped on and them having 2 points from a fast cap while you're distracted.
Yeah.
We've all overextended on those kind of situations too. I think we all kind of have a thought, like a particular match in our minds where we might have done that and, you know, the point get capped, or maybe the opposite where you did not do it. You chose to play a very, you know, tight defense, not letting that objective out of your sights, but was overwhelmed because of the lack of risks taken.
Not me. That's never happened to me.
Never happened. Whatever is right, that's what I do, because what I do is right. Right?
I don't know why.
So we are going into round 2 here. Let's see how Rome chooses to attack this one, and at the same time, which I think is kind of the defining strategy, is how Dark Matter is going to defend this one. Is there some very, very strong defensive strategies that we've seen from teams like Raptors that I don't think really have been solved yet.
No, although the map got changed enough where you can't see under the walls at least, which changed some of it. Ooh,
Grenade
close.
was just too far from Gladiator. Matt will come out alive there. Varix downs Aqua. The center is open to the team pushing in. Matt takes out Gladiator. Wasn't able to check his corner, but Ramen's got the refrag under his belt there. Zucchini picks up Ree near the boat. Now it's just Ramen and William. William shooting Fino. Zucchini not quite able to get the refi, allowing William to get that rotation. Ramen, oops. Ramen trying to shoot under this car here, trying to get a sneaky peek on maybe Will, but it looks like she's not going to take the bait here. She's just going to call it out. Revive comes up. Ramen is in position. He shoots Will, and he is now near the objective. Aqua is going to have to make a choice. He is on objective. Zucchini is off the point. He cannot get back in time if Ramen can cap this quickly, but William shoots the last player, and you can hear Ramen. He's just like, why'd you do that? No!
Yeah. Tell your teammates what's going on. They can't read your mind.
Unless he was really close, Zucchini was going to stop him. As soon as he came through that door, I think he was visible. And if he did do that and killed Ree, then William would have to dig him out of the building all by himself. So
That's true.
I don't know if I can be really against that pick there at the end versus risking it for the cap. That's just a decision every team has to make at what level of safety they're willing to give up for that opportunity to cap.
Yeah,
But
that's fair.
when you're the one capping, it sure stings, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Yes,
Stings
it does.
when I get on there and then time stops. Or really, it keeps going, but for me, it stops. And I just keep going, and then someone kills the last person. And it's like, man, I was like 4 digits in, guys.
Or in your case, a minute goes by and you're like, man, I was 2 digits in. I almost had it.
I think that's a little mean. You can do better than that.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
This one's an interesting objective. This is the one I played the least out of the objectives on this map, I think.
Yeah, I've played it a bunch. The really powerful positions are up on the boat from there, especially if you can get up to the top story of the boat and shoot down.
That's what I was thinking too. Like, you can cover almost the entire objective from up there.
Yeah, you have nowhere to hide as a defender that, well, nowhere worthwhile to hide, really, if you want to keep your eyes on the objective that would not expose you to that top story.
Looks like pretty much the entire dark matter stack is going to choose to attack from the boat there. Will and Aqua choosing to take the building, but Ramen's aggressive defensive flank did pay off here as he was able to take out Aqua, and now he's able to defend in their back line without exposing himself. But he's going to run out, and Zucchini will be able to take it just before Will can get that pick. Mad Outdoors pushing up, but Ree able to just peek over and get that pick on him. That's a tough position. They have great cover. They have a lot of places to pop out of and get picks from, and we can see that here as Reed's just picked out 2. Now he's taking fire from 2 positions. He just goes prone and gets behind, and now he has the opportunity to really come from anywhere on this roof without being seen. Nice trade from Will and Ree. 3 is revivable. This is tough for Zucchini as a last man up. The defense has all the high ground, and he has a lot of ground to cover.
Ooh.
Barks makes it a little bit easier on him. Unfortunate snap team kill there. Zucchini, though, continuing his push. We're not worried about that gunfire necessarily behind him, using that kind of sneaky positioning that he's been doing and quiet movement to continue his move. Ree probably not going to be able to see him from his current position while downed, which is unfortunate for Rome, as those downed players giving intel can be very, very powerful.
Ree's giving a lot of call outs and Zucchini is close, so he has to know. I don't know if he knows that he's down because he's going really slow. Oh, there it is.
And he gets the pick there. Looks a little funny, but bodies are client side, so it just really depends on where the body lands.
Yeah, for me, he was behind the center container up there.
Me too. Me too. That's why this looked really funny.
It was odd.
Why I thought about saying that. Now he's just worried about any other players up there. Looks like another player was up there. They did die, and now he's going about the backside of the ship, which I've never been on. In the new shipyard. Works out for him though. Getting the pick on a Varks who had a really sneaky position, which I've never seen before. Don't know why. And it's now down to a 1v1, and what looked like a hopeless game for Dark Matter is now really close on a 1-1 for this map, or sorry, this round. You can see here he's using the full 3 minutes to his advantage here. He's checking everything he can possibly check without exposing himself too much. He's gonna figure out where William is and where he isn't and where he could be just from the information he's getting from all these peaks. Let's jump down to William and see what he's looking at right now.
That's a nice spot he's got, because it's the one area where he can hang out near the objective and not be spotted too easily from that top position.
William's been the last member up for Rome several times in a row here, kind of like a last defense man up there. Zucchini just narrowly missing him as he does that rotation, and now they're just kind of playing a game of ring around the rosy as both players kind of reposition Zucchini up there on the high ground, trying to just get that shot. Now he's just choosing to come down the boat a little bit though, reposition a little bit, get William, but William comes out ahead. Rome picks up another point. Really good plays from Zucchini though. I think that him sneaking up onto Ree was integral, because if he just ran too quickly, Ree would have hurt him. He would have known that there's only 1 or 2 players up still, and then he would have been able to call to his team, who could have swarmed him while he was on the boat and still transitioning to get that pick onto Ree, who again I don't think we knew, or he knew, that he was necessarily downed. So I think that was critical to how successful he was, and it really could have gone either way on that round.
Yep, he just got caught running down that ramp, but he didn't know that William had rotated on him as well. But he made the right choice. He came up on the boat, and then he got into that platform we were talking about, and he brought it down to a 1v1 from there. When you're right on the objective on a small map like this in a 1v1, in many cases it's basically a coin flip. It's just, whoever gets caught in the wrong moment. And Zucchini pushed down that ramp at just the wrong time when William was in a position to shoot him. So still a good effort for sure.
But that's like the difference between a really passive defensive style where they shoot at you, maybe they get you, maybe they miss, but once they shoot, then you know where they are, and they choose not to move because the map doesn't allow them, just because of how the map geometry is, and that a rotation would expose you. Versus, or just someone who chooses to be in the best position to watch the objective, and by staying there, Zucchini would have had a great advantage. He would have had the information to get a good rotation for that position specifically. But William was willing to expose himself in the short term to go around the backside of those containers in order to give himself a much greater chance of winning that trade by, keeping the information available to Zucchini really murky. Jump into the next round here. Fino getting aggressive. Matt and Zucchini immediately take out Ree, and Varix. Gladiator gets the pick onto Fino, who is getting very, very aggressive. That's both teams have done that same style of play on this objective. Will's got the blue room to defend from, a very strong position with a lot of opportunities for her. She can kind of rotate back and forth, and you can see her picking Gladiator as he was throwing a grenade. Definitely dead now. Matt got up on top of the building in the meantime, was only able to take out William, and 4-1, Rome is suddenly quite behind on this particular round. He is now kind of looking under this really... Oh, ow. He was looking under the car, but Will was able to do so as well because it's so high up.
Another very back and forth map between these two teams.
Definitely been pretty exciting here seeing how these two different strategies play up against each other, and I do like when you see those kind of 1v1 situations happen. Really exciting to see how the two players decide to kind of do the dance and how they, you know, respond to one another. So really good. This objective though, this one's kind of a weird one. It's kind of like the center objective, like the building style, but it's just a lot smaller. It's really small, and you can get on the roof. There is like this little stairway that goes up, but you kind of have to expose yourself quite a bit to get there. And if you run, they'll definitely be able to hear you. But once you're on that roof, and if the defense stays really tucked in inside the building, it can be so powerful, just like the center building can be as well up on the roof.
Seems to be a feature of this map is rooftops, which if you control them are incredibly powerful. Like you were saying, if you're in this objective, even if you're trying to do the right thing and just hold an angle, if they get up there, there's not really anywhere to hide. You're stuck.
Yeah, you just can't be passive as the last defenders. You can't let them take the roof. We've seen what happens when you do, and it's just brutal for the defenders. Yeah. But one thing that can be possible is grenades through the sky, whatever it is. I'm not even gonna say it.
The sky roof.
No,
yeah, I didn't think about that. The skylight, though, is technically the term for it.
Right. Let's jump in here. Looks like Rome is choosing to do quite a aggressive defensive strategy. All their players exiting the building, taking control further out. In fact, they're almost just getting really very aggressive here, and William here in a great position to at least spot players moving up on the bridge from under these ramps, which is definitely pretty common on this map. Ramen getting really, really, really aggressive inside the building. Takes out Aqua.
The one where you tried to get up onto. I got one.
Ramen making all these moves, really scared about any kind of Marsoc up on the roof looking down on him. Now he's just going to kind of stay back in this building, maybe catch anybody that might come by, but no, he's going to be aggressive. He's getting up onto the boat, but not quick enough as Will was able to get that rotation onto the roof, that west roof, and get the pick there. I think Will almost shot a friendly there. Zucchini retakes out Matt. Oh, Zucchini didn't even spot William as he was kind of prone there. Really kind of sneaky from him, but was able to get that snapshot onto him, or onto William. And now he spots Ree out in the open, but I think his gun ran out of ammo. I heard one shot and then that was it.
Oof.
You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Effing chat. Oh man, now it's Fino in the center here, followed by Will, who's just kind of sitting in a back, more support position, trying to catch any aggressive defenders. Fino slowly making his move forward, but it's going to be a bit because everyone's kind of tucking in at this point in the map. You know, 2 minutes in. If Fino is not careful, he's going to get his head taken off. Oh, he just spotted Rio.
Top of the boat, in between the two front containers on the right side.
Good call-outs coming from him, giving Will the information she needs. But his rotation up on that roof, coming around the right side of this red container, plays out very well for him, and he's able to shoot Fino there as he makes that rotation, pre-firing the old position that Ree was holding.
Now, Will trying to take the same line that Zucchini was taking last time they were on Marsoc. Yeah, Ree had the dominant angle on that one, or at least the dominant height advantage, I should say.
You were talking about how strong that position was, and yep, it was pretty strong. He took out, I think, 3 people, maybe 4.
Yeah, you really have to neutralize that overlook. It's just, you can't. Sometimes you just need to acknowledge that there's a position that's too powerful and you just can't let people hang out there. You need to stop everything you're doing and clear that position before you do anything else.
Totally agree. That position is just so dominant over the map, and unlike the other rooftop positions where they kind of have different ways that they can come up, like the center building, there's 2 ways up. You can get shot from basically all sides as you're in the center of the map. And there's, you know, some decent cover up there, but if you're out shooting, you're exposing yourself quite a bit, versus that ship spot where it's in the corner of the map. It's the highest point on the map, and you have great cover and concealment. And you can honestly, as long as they're not on top of you, you could possibly jump down and get away if you needed to. But why would you when this position can cover so much of these eastern objectives? Like, you never have to leave. Even if they know you're there, you probably never want to actually leave that position.
Nope. Just stick there the whole round. You'll be just fine.
Yeah. Definitely a strong position. About to start next roundup. See what we can get here. Rome could take this map as well if they clutch it. Oh, not quite.
Yeah, false start.
Sometimes happens, you know. Forget your night vision. Forget your shotgun. Don't forget about your tricked out, you know, pistol. You can get 4 headshots.
And your bipod, that's critical.
Bipod on your pistol. Yes. That is my favorite kit. Right there. Let's jump in there. Round 6. This is, I think, a pretty good objective for Volk. See who comes out on top. First bullets are fired. Ramen and Gladiator trying to shoot somebody. Zucchini getting highly aggressive, coming around the side here. William, though, in cover, trying to defend from that, but Zucchini's aggression comes out on top, and now he's in a great position to continue this flank. All he has to worry about really is about the roof, but no one is actually up there right now. Clark's coming around, seeing William's body. Getting a little bit careful here. Matt outdoors shoots Ree, and Zucchini opting to go defensive once he caught that first pick. He's just not quite
shortly though. If Varix
yeah,
continues,
but he won't do it. He won't go up high enough.
Oh,
Gladiator and this is funny. They're so close, but neither one are willing to take it. Oh, they're just a little bit too far. He even sees a grenade get thrown out. Jumping onto Zucchini kind of spelled out why that didn't happen. I don't think they were actually visible, even though they way looked at it from that overhead view. He's just sitting there. He's like, come on, peek it, peek it. Oh, there we go. He gets Varix there. Gladiator, meanwhile, from the roof, shoots Matt outdoors, not even aware that his friendly has died. Now gets that confirm on a Matt, and Zucchini repositions.
Go on the ship. Just move back left on the ship. Go there.
He thinks somebody's on the ship, but I think they both died. Like, there was a trade, and that lack of information could change the entire course of the game, as Ramen looks like he's going to rotate to that boat and start clearing it.
One guy's in the center building.
Zucchini, meanwhile, so close that he's able to give the same callouts to his team. Any information that Glad gives out is information Zucchini's going to have as well. Gladiator trying to get a shot on the Fino, not quite able to connect there. Fino's got a nice tight angle inside this window, just trying to maybe get that pick onto Glad if he continues to expose himself. Zucchini, though, getting aggressive. He's on the roof. Gladiator and him in a gun battle. Bullets are being thrown on both sides, and neither player able to come out ahead just yet, as Gladiator feverishly looks left and right trying to get a position there. But Gladiator wins the trade. He had a really, really strong defensive position.
Now 3 minutes, 2v3. I think they're going to have to deal with Phenoram first, since he is controlling a line directly in front of the objective.
Ramen, though, will be able to... Oh, never mind. Pheno was dead set on watching the bridge, or the boat, probably from the call out from Zucchini, letting him know that someone definitely 100% was going to go to the boat, which was key, because if he got on top of there and took out Pheno, he would be in a great position to stop any rotations from the remaining 2 defenders inside the building, and then allow his team to push up and get on top of the building or behind the building. So definitely a key position that Pheno is holding right here. Now it's just all up to Glad. Last member up for Rome. He's coming up close to the objective, but again, he's going to run across the line of Pheno. Actually, no, this semi-truck is covering it quite well, but Will, with this nice angle around the corner inside the building, does come out ahead there, giving Dark Matter another point.
That was an interesting wrinkle that we just witnessed with Gladiator, because Pheno had a strong line, but he found a way to get around it so that he would not expose himself. He ended up getting caught by somebody inside the objective building, but still, he neutralized Phenoram's position without dealing with him directly. So that was some good movement right there for anybody taking notes about how to move on that objective.
That's pretty much one of Glad's big strengths, I'd say, is that he's so used to beelining for the cap and pub lobbies that he knows like all the best little routes to take in order to expose himself the least amount, as he makes that really aggressive push for the cap. And
Yep.
I mean, even if you're not going for the cap, trying to stop yourself from being exposed as much as possible can be a huge difference. And just being shot while you were running versus getting in a position, at least having a chance to shoot the person that's shooting back at you.
Yep, pathfinding is a critical skill in this game, because there are certain areas of the map you don't want to cross. It's a great way to get shot, but if you know how to thread the needle, like Gladiator was doing, you can save yourself a lot of deaths.
Yeah, the no man's land. I think of Bazaar a lot with this mid street. I don't think that there's it depends on the objective, but usually there's not a completely safe way to cross that, and you just have to mitigate risk as best as possible.
Yeah.
So even in these custom map tourneys where the maps might not necessarily make it into rotation, you can learn very valuable skills. And sometimes you're going to have to make atypical choices that you normally wouldn't have, just because the situation dictates it. But we'd have no time for that. It is now 3-3. Whoever wins this round will win this map. So there's a lot on the line for this series point. William gets Mad Outdoors. Oh, a lot of explosive gunfire going from the roof down to the center objective there. Ree does get a pick, but falls down himself. He is revivable, but considering Pheno and Will's position, that res probably is not going to happen there. Gladiator, nonetheless, is going to try for that rotation as Will comes around, probably going to get the confirm.
Yeah, I wonder if his body is in front of Will, because he was on the roof when he got shot, and then on my screen he fell down.
Same with mine. I think that Glad thought he was this body that was back here and tried to get that revive, but he was exposed, unfortunately, and was taken out. Meanwhile, back on the boat, Aqua slowly making her approach forward here. She does have to worry about William, who has been using these ramps quite commonly and could shoot Aqua here if she exposes herself too much. Varks is nearby as well. Here's all this movement, and it's coming around the backside, and Aqua, if she doesn't turn around, is going to get shot in the butt. And there we go. Varks able to use that information, the sound of her footsteps, in order to get a position while she was looking away.
Ooh, Varix. Oh, he was about to come down on Pheno Ram, but
I was
shot
waiting for
back.
that. Try to see the flick from Pheno. Nice moves from Will, supporting her teammates. Pheno is now pushing up here. William, last member up, trying to defend this objective, but Pheno's just going all the way around him, but he looks back at the right moment in order to stop that rotation. If he got around, he would have probably got that cap. William, definitely a strong contender for a player that knows where to go and where to be and where to look as the last man up. And his aggression while being that last defender has paid off dividends for him. But with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left, Will has a lot of time in order to really clear every possible angle she can. Maybe pick up some extra utility from the many bodies all over the battlefield, and maybe throw a rain of grenades if she can find them.
Is a veritable garden, excuse me, garden of corpses on this map right now.
It's my favorite kind of thing to garden with.
Mm-hmm.
Really gets the plants growing, you know?
Well, bodies are great fertilizer, right?
Right?
So I've heard, at least. Not that I would know.
Exactly. Yeah. I just wanted to say, I just saw it on YouTube. Wasn't me.
Naturally. William in a very good position. I wonder, can now actually I'm looking up and down. I don't think she can see William.
She goes onto those steps right here. She will be able to see William. Right there.
But you can't shoot through. Oh, never mind. I thought you couldn't, but I was wrong about that.
She can, and she will take it, giving Dark Matter the point for this map.
Yep.
Oops.
So they can walk away with one map win at the very least.
There we go. All right. What a series. Let's pop this over here. Yeah, that was crazy last set of rounds there. Both teams still playing completely to win. Neither side was just running out in the open willy-nilly. No, they were both still trying and doing their best. We saw a lot of really great clutches. A lot of key movements that really won them the game. I'm thinking a lot about those 1v1s, for example. But overall, pretty exciting. What's your thoughts on this set of series, or the series, whatever you want to call it?
Closely contested the whole time. Could have swung in either direction on every single map. And this is a custom tournament. There's not MMR or money or anything on the line, but they're still fighting like hell to get the win for their team. So all I can say is I appreciate it. Thanks to both teams.
Yeah, definitely made for some good TV. Anyways, this has been Dark Matter versus Rome, brought to you by Menorkid and Theta. We'd like to thank the VR Master League for giving us this format, to the moderators, to our sponsors, and especially to you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Hope to see you guys next week. Should be the last week of the tourney unless things get extended. And it should be an exciting last week. There is no finals, just for anyone wondering. So the next week is the last week. So for any of those casts that do happen, do tune in. And we'll see you then. Have a good one, everyone.